I welcome all of the assembled devotees this evening. According to our schedule, today we were to be in Ekachakra, the birthplace of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. However, the Lord had other plans. There is a bund or a protest where all roads and travel facilities are stopped throughout the state of Bengal. And it is very dangerous to go anywhere. So today, through transcendental sound vibration, we will all travel to Ekachakra. Because we learn from our acharyas, our scriptures, and from our own experiences that there is no difference between transcendental sound vibration and the Lord, the pastimes of the Lord, and the holy Dham of the Lord. It is said Krishna never takes a step out of Vrindavan. And Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's names, Krishna's descriptions are not different than Krishna. So wherever our mind is absorbed in Krishna, we are in Vrindavan. So today, we will go to Ekachakra without having to board all 66 buses. Without the risk. When we went to Srikhanda 2 days ago, there was a political protest by the Congress Party that held up the roads for several hours. So without the risk of roadblocks, traffic jams, or anything else. It's so much easier, isn't it? Just by hearing and chanting. Kevala Ananda Kanda, this process is so joyful. The mercy of Lord Nityananda is the most important consideration for every aspiring devotee. Narottam Das Thakur prays, Brajendra Nandana Jai Sachi Sutta Hoilo Se Balaram Hoilo Nitai. That the son of the king of Braja appeared from the womb of Sachi Devi. He is Krishna himself, absolutely non-different from Krishna, but always in the mood of the servant of Krishna. Expands himself as the holy Dham, as Krishna's paraphernalia, to assist Krishna in his pastimes. Balaram's everything, his all in all, is only to fulfill the desire of Krishna. And similarly, in the Treta Yuga, when Krishna appeared as Sri Ramchandra, Balaramji appeared as Lakshman. Lakshman would consider no other identity except the servant of Ram. Although he is the all-powerful Supreme Personality of Godhead, he established devotional service as his life and his soul. Lakshman was not banished to the forest for 14 years, but he would not stay in Ayodhya separated from Sri Ram. He went. And he was always in any menial or heroic way there to fulfill Ram and Sita's desires. That same Balaramji, with his full potency, appeared in Ekachakra as Lord Nityananda Prabhu. It is very interesting that our Sambandha Guru, Sanatana Goswami, our Abhideya Guru, Rupa Goswami, and our Prayojana Guru, Raghunath Goswami, their connection to Lord Chaitanya, all of them, was through the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. When Sanatana and Rupa Goswami were in Ramkeli, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came with big kirtan. In the middle of the night, Rupa and Sanatana came. They first met Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur. And it was Nityananda Prabhu that brought them inside to meet Lord Chaitanya. It was he who presented them to the Lord's lotus feet. Raghunath Das Goswami, he tried through so many means to escape the unbelievable enjoyment, pleasure, and opulences of his home. But his parents were powerful, wealthy, and influential. They kept bringing him back, bringing him back. A few days ago, many of you went to Krishnapur, the birthplace, and the place where Raghunath Das Goswami was brought up. The last set of buses were not able to go there. But please do not feel so bad, because through sound vibration, you already went there. We wanted to go there so bad, but Raghunath Das Goswami wanted to get out of there so bad. Just as you haven't had impediments getting there, he had so many impediments to get out of there. He couldn't. It was impossible for him until he went to Panihati. Organizing, serving the feast, making every devotee completely satisfied, then receiving all the blessings of the devotees. Then Raghunath Das Goswami approached Nityananda Prabhu. And he said, it is known that no one can approach the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without your mercy, Lord Nityananda Prabhu. No one can attain the shelter of his lotus feet unless you showed your kindness upon him. That is an eternal truth. Sri Nityananda Prabhu blessed Raghunath Das Goswami and told him very soon you will be liberated from all your material bondage, and you will achieve the position of the intimate servant of Lord Chaitanya in Jagannath Puri, under his secretary Swarup Damodar Goswami. Lord Nityananda Prabhu placed his lotus feet on Raghunath Das Goswami's head. You find Nityananda Prabhu bringing dacoits, murderers, outcast people of the most sinful lives, as well as very, very high Brahmins. He made no discrimination. To receive the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, there was no consideration of anything one had done in the past. whether you're a pious Brahmin or Jagai Madhai. That is not a consideration for him. The only consideration is your eagerness to receive his mercy and faith. Faith in the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And with that eagerness, the willingness to follow. Justice seeks qualification, but mercy does not consider qualifications or disqualifications. Mercy is received simply by our willingness to accept. Nityananda Prabhu is the supreme embodiment of the Lord's mercy. In Vrindavan, the Leela of Radha and Krishna is a very, very confidential circle of the most intimate, pure-hearted devotees of the Lord. Navadvip is non-different than Vrindavan, but it opens the doors, inviting everyone, anyone, from anywhere to enter into the Leela of Radha and Krishna. Narottam Das Thakur, in one of his beautiful songs, he praised that one cannot enter into the circle of Radha and Krishna's pastimes without the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. How is that? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur, go out and preach to everyone. Worship Krishna. Chant the names of Krishna. Become a devotee of Krishna. Krishna is your mother, your father, your real wealth, and your life and soul. Later on, when Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Puri, in a confidential place, he ordered Lord Nityananda Prabhu to go to Bengal to preach, to chant the name of Krishna. We will discuss this in more detail later on if there is time. You see, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was bound by the love of his mother to reside in Puri. And also because he was a sannyasi, he had to maintain very high standards so that the world would not criticize him. He himself explained that a sannyasi is like a white cloth. If there is even a tiny spot on a white cloth, everyone looks, everyone sees, everyone talks about it. Because they are representing the spirit of renunciation. So with our search, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very, very reluctant to even meet King Prataparudra, although he was a great king and a pure devotee, absolutely spotless in his character. Just because he was a king, Lord Chaitanya said, people will criticize because I am a sannyasi. He gave his mercy, but in such a way that it was, for some time, indirect. But what about all these people? What about these very fallen dacoits, criminals, grihastas not grihastas, grihamedis? How to give them Krishna prema unless you give them your association? Nityananda Prabhu and Lord Chaitanya are the one supreme person. with the same potency. But one is the master and one is the servant. Therefore, although Nityananda Prabhu never took formal vows of a sannyasi, he was living in the renounced order of life as an avadut. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, how are we going to reach the most fallen people, especially in Bengal? I cannot associate with them for these reasons. Therefore, Nityananda Prabhu, you have descended in this world to reach everyone. So go to Bengal. When Nityananda Prabhu came to Bengal on the order of Lord Chaitanya, he had his own plan, which is the perfect way of executing the Lord's plan. The Lord told everyone, give everyone Krishna Prem in the mood of Vrindavan. But Sri Nityananda Prabhu understood. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha and Krishna. Krishna in the mood of Radha, with the magnanimous love of Radha, with the mercy of Radha. So if I just bring people to Lord Chaitanya, automatically they will go to Vrindavan and become the maidservant of Srimati Radharani. Or in their constitutional position under the loving guidance of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, he preached, chant the name of Gauranga. Understand the glory of Gauranga, and automatically you will achieve Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan without impediments. Nityananda Prabhu is Balaram, non-different, with the addition of that magnanimous quality to distribute Vrindavan praying without restriction. Therefore, he is the strong foundation that we build our bhakti upon. Nityananda Prabhu's expansion is Shankarshan. Shankarshan, Ananta Shesha, is supporting and holding up all the universes, all the planets, keeping them from just collapsing, from falling. In the same way, the original source of Shankarshan and Ananta Shesha, Nityananda Prabhu, is the support for our spiritual lives. And Nityananda Prabhu is the origin and the essence of Guru Tattva. The mercy of Guru is the manifestation of the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Guru Parampara connects us to that mercy. After Nityananda Prabhu departed from this world, his beloved consort, Janava, went on a tour to Ekachakra. She had just returned from Vrindavan, along with Narottam Das Thakur, Ramchandra Kaviraj, and several other great associates of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. They approached Ekachakra Gram. On the road, which was lined with very high trees, providing much shade, they happened to see a very old Brahmin who was bent over and walking, leaning on a stick. They approached the Brahmin. They all offered obeisances to him because of his seniority. And they all felt something very deeply sublime within their hearts. He told them that he was a resident of Ekachakra. Janava asked, "Can you tell us something about Ekachakra? We heard it was a very flourishing, busy town. But what we see now, it seems abandoned and in ruins. We do not understand. Can you explain?" The old Brahmin said, "Yes, I can explain. I was born and raised in Ekachakra. Let me tell you something of the history of this holy place. Long ago, the Pandavas made their home here and killed some great historical demons in this place. Later on, an assembly of Brahmins came together. And one great astrologer, through his calculations, predicted that in this land of Ekachakra, Balaram himself is going to incarnate. And all the other Brahmins and astrologers, they all checked, studied, and confirmed his conclusion. But that one astrologer said, "My only regret in life is I will not live to see that glorious day when Balaram comes to appear within our land." Later on, there was a very, very qualified and pure-hearted Brahmin named Oja. He was married and had a son who was given the name Adai Pandit. His father married him to a very, very chaste, pure-hearted lady named Padmavati. Just a few days after the marriage, the father died. Adai Pandit became known as a scholar and a very, very great devotee. His eldest son was born on the 13th day of the bright fortnight, the month of March. There was a famine throughout Ekachakra, but as soon as he took birth, flowers fell from the heavens, rains fell from the clouds, and all of Ekachakra flourished. He was so beautiful. He captivated the heart of his mother and father. And within days, he was the center of all the activities of the entire town of Ekachakra. When the name-giving ceremony was taking place, some recommended his name be Rama, and others Nityananda. He was given both of these names, Nityananda Rama. But as he would crawl about, people affectionately called upon him as Nitai. So beautiful. Padmavati, his mother, would hold him on lap and look at his beautiful, beautiful lotus-like eyes, his wonderful, each of his limbs was melting her heart with motherly affection. His body was soft like a puppet made out of butter. She would embrace him, she would kiss him, she would keep him on her lap practically day and night. And Hadai Pandit, if he didn't see Nityananda Prabhu, even for minutes, he would start going mad in separation. This old Brahmin who was speaking to Janava, he said, one day I was in real anxiety, and I thought, nothing can solve this. I just have to go see Nityananda. He was just a little boy, crawling. And the Brahmin went to Hadai Pandit's house and he put Nityananda in his lap, and all of his anxieties were gone. That's the way everyone felt toward him. He was the all in all, the everything. As he began to walk and play, Padmavati and Hadai Pandit just didn't want him out of their sight. After a few years, little Nitai said to his mother that I want to play, but I don't have any friends. Then she realized that for her son's happiness, she had to allow him to be with others. But how painful that was for him. And with his friends, the only thing they did was enact dramatic performances depicting the pastimes of Lord Krishna and the incarnations. With so much devotion. He would infuse his own devotion in all of his playmates. When the adults would see what kind of dramas they were performing amongst themselves, just in the fields and all day long, under trees, on trees. Krishna's Leela, Ram's Leela, Vamana's Leela, Narasingha Dev's Leela, Kapila Dev's Leela. They were astounded. They had asked Nityananda Prabhu, all of these dramatic performances are exactly according to the scriptures, and you're just a tiny child. You never even heard these stories before. How do you do this? He smiled. These are my pastimes. But due to his own Yogamaya potency, they could not understand that he was speaking the truth. Nityananda Prabhu, he knew exactly that his Lord has come, and he roared with such thunderous sound that the world shook. And then he began to think, I have come to assist Gauranga in his Sankirtan mission. But how will I ever be able to leave my loving parents, my friends, and all the people here of Ekachakra? He devised his own plan. You would like to hear? Yeah! One day, a sannyasi appeared in Ekachakra. He came to the house of Hadai Pandit. He was welcomed in, offered seat, water, Mahaprasad, loving service in every way. Throughout the entire night, Hadai Pandit had this sannyasi discussing Krishna Katha with him. In the morning, just as the sannyasi was about to depart, he asked Hadai Pandit, can I ask one favor of you? Hadai Pandit promised him, I am your servant. Anything you desire within my power, I will fulfill. The sannyasi said, I am going on a pilgrimage to many distant lands. I have no one to assist me. Please give me your eldest son, Nityananda, to travel with. I will take care of him and take full responsibility. If Indra's own thunderbolt would have directly struck Hadai Pandit's heart, it couldn't have had the same impact as this sannyasi's words. When Hadai Pandit was walking through the fields with his little Nitai, if Nitai fell behind, even just a few feet, Hadai Pandit would frantically be looking in all directions to see him. Where is he? Is he safe? How is he? That was his parental love. And now, this sannyasi wants to take him away to distant places, and he may never return. Hadai Pandit was reeling in anguish, but he was a man of honor. He had already given his promise. He took shelter of the Holy Scriptures. For Dasarat, it was more than giving his own life breath. But in order to be true to his word of honor, he was willing to sacrifice his very life in the form of his son Ram to go to the forest with the sage. He went to his wife Padmavati and told her the dilemma. Asked, what should I do? Padmavati said, whatever you decide, that is my will as well. He said to the sannyasi, whatever is your will. The sannyasi took little Nityananda, who was only 12 years old, by the hand and walked out. As soon as they left the door, Hadai Pandit crumbled to the ground, unconscious. Everyone was in an ocean of grief. Hare Krishna. It was unbelievable. One Brahmin, he cried out that why he took this 12-year-old little boy. How is he going to help? He was never even taught how to cook. My son is qualified. He knows how to cook. He knows how to do so many other things. Nityananda was never trained in any of these servant methods. I will find that sannyasi and give him my son in replacement. Everyone in Ekachakra was thinking the same way. They loved Nityananda Prabhu more than their own children. They all went running in all directions, trying to find the sannyasi to offer their own children in replacement. But bring Nitai back, please. Let us live. But they could not find him anywhere. And just hope against hope that Nityananda Prabhu would return. Sometimes Hadai Pandit would come into his home and he'd cry out, Nitai, Nitai, your mother has made your rice for you. Come and eat it. Nitai, let's go into the fields together and see how all the crops are growing. One day, in his madness, he became jubilant. He was leaping in the air. He ran to his wife Padmavati and said, I see in the horizon. Nitai is returning with the sannyasi. The sannyasi is coming to bring our son back to us. Let us celebrate. Nitai is returning. But it was only his imagination. And ultimately, he just crumbled to the ground in desperation. Padmavati Devi and Hadai Pandit did not eat, did not sleep, did not even drink water. They just wept for Nityananda Prabhu. But they didn't even get thin or emaciated because of their total absorption in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And ultimately, they both passed from this world, crying out in separation, Nityananda. With much feeling. Without Hadai Pandit and Padmavati, without Nityananda Prabhu, nobody could live in Ekachakra anymore. Nobody even spoke a word to anyone else. Everyone else just left. They couldn't bear to see the places of Nityananda's Leela without him. It was too painful. The old Brahmin explained that myself and a few others remained here with the hope that Nityananda Prabhu would return to his home. How cruel is Providence that she keeps me alive. Every day I roam through the forests, roam through the fields, approach Hadai Pandit's house. Everywhere Nityananda Prabhu and his friends would perform their leelas, I just go to those places every day remembering him, praying for his return. But he never returns. I have only one prayer. That birth after birth after birth, I may be born in Ekachakra, waiting for Nityananda Prabhu to return. The Brahmin said, I'd like to show you all the places of Nitai's Leela. Come with me. They graciously followed. They first went to the house of Hadai Pandit. It was ruins due to total neglect for so many years. Abandoned from the time of Hadai Pandit's disappearance from this world. Seeing that house, the old Brahmin wept so bitterly in separation that he just left. And Janava just didn't try to stop him. She understood his mood. The devotees spent all day and all night in those ruins. When nighttime came, they were performing Nam Sankirtan. Everyone went to sleep later. Janava had a dream. In the dream, she saw Ekachakra as a beautiful, flourishing town. It looked like it was built by Vishwakarma himself. And she saw the wonderful, wonderful home of Hadai Pandit with so many people, servants and maidservants all around. And there she saw her mother-in-law and father-in-law, Hadai Pandit and Padmavati, who she wept because she was never given the opportunity to ever meet them. And she saw them showering affection on Nityananda and showering affection on her and Vasudha, her sister. She was so happy. She never wanted this dream to end, but it ended. And she looked around into the dark ruins of the house and she wept. Then she fell asleep again. And she saw a beautiful garden. And in it was a throne. Nityananda Prabhu was sitting on the throne, and Janava was on one side, and Vasudha was on the other side, and Nityananda Prabhu, who had years before disappeared from this world, was now reunited with his two wives, embracing them and exchanging the most intimate love of his heart with them in Ekachakra. Her heart was soaring with glory. I never want to leave Ekachakra. But then the dream ended, and there was nothing but darkness. A voice spoke from her heart, return to Kardaha immediately. So she took the other devotees and left Ekachakra. On the way, they saw one Brahmin who had become a drunkard. Nobody wanted anything to do with him. He was just an obnoxious, sinful fool. But Janava saw him and prayed to all the Vaishnavas to bestow mercy upon him. And right before their eyes, he completely transformed, became a devotee, and took complete shelter of the Lord's holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It is said that before that sannyasi left Ekachakra, he gave Padmavati a deity of Krishna named Murlidhar, which is still there in the temple. Due to the Bengali band, you'll have to see this deity through your ears today. Beautiful deity of Murlidhar. Padmavati, when Lord Nityananda left, in her separation, she looked at the face of the deity, and every time she looked, she saw Nityananda's face in the deity. Lord Nityananda went on pilgrimage with this Brahmin for many years. Some say approximately 20 years. They went to almost every possible holy place. From the Himalayas, Badrinath, Gangotri, Yamunotri, down to Setubanda, Rameshwaram, Kanyakumari. Along the eastern coast, the western coast, he visited Jagannath Puri, where he worshipped with great love and devotion Balaram, Jagannath, Subhadra. In the western province of Pandharpur, he stayed at the home of one Brahmin. That Brahmin was very excited. He said his guru was soon coming. His guru was a great devotee of Lord Balaram. His name, Lakshmipati Tirtha.